Morning everybody, welcome to WEBBY'S Sports Roundup here in my manor in sunny Tenerife in Kalasavaki. Right, we've been waiting for a few days for this one. We've got a fantastic 15 questions and some absolutely superb answers coming up. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a couple of clues. I'm not going to tell you who it is. He's my age. Actually, I think I'm a few months older. He started off his playing career at Airdrie Onions. That's your first clue. Second clue, that's where he was born. Second clue, he moved down south to a massive Premier League club. Then what he did, I think he got a bit homesick. He thought, I better move back up north. So he went back up north to one of the biggest two football clubs in Scotland. And then when he left there, after a while, he went to another big club in Scotland in the SPL League. And then from there, he dwindled away. Age became an issue. An absolute living legend. Everybody knows him from north of the border to south of the border. And he became a football manager into coaching. He's coached in the SPL League with a top flight club. And now he's in a little bit of a lower league, just semi-retired, just enjoying his football. And I just want to thank him for doing these 15 questions for me. And I want to thank another good Scotsman pal of mine, Alan Fraser, for doing it for me. And we've got one or two more on the way. So if you've not subscribed to me, it is free, costs you nothing. WEBBY'S Sports Roundup, all the sport in the world, mainly football, English, Scottish, anywhere. It's absolutely on the money. Please send the comments down below, please. And all I'm going to say is, do me a favour, big man. Answer all these questions. Superb. Please enjoy, like, subscribe, and sit back and relax. Take care.
Thanks, Gaffer. Thanks very much for agreeing to do this. I wonder if you could just give the people that are watching a quick resume of your playing and coaching career that brings you to Albion Rovers at this date.
Have you got 2 days? Quickly, football's been my life, my whole life really. You know, I signed for Airdrie as a schoolboy at 13 and I'm now 67, still working at Albion Rovers. So I'm very fortunate that I've been able to get paid for my hobby my whole life. But I appreciate it, I know that, but it's been a brilliant time and hopefully a wee bit to go yet. Started at Airdrie, as I said, moved on from Airdrie to West Ham to Rangers to Hearts, and ended up coaching, managing at Hearts, and then moved on to various coaching at different clubs, managing at different clubs over the last maybe 30 years or so. So there's plenty to talk about, that's for sure.
Okay, thanks very much. Right, Gaff, the reason we're here, WEBBY'S 15 questions.
Right.
First question, favourite team played for?
When you mentioned that one to me, how do you class a team? As a team, the club, or as a team, the guys that you are playing with?
The camaraderie, the atmosphere, the tightness of the squad. That's because obviously being in squads where not everybody gets on, but that's the best team.
It's easy to go with big clubs when you ask that kind of question. Without a doubt, the bits that I mean by a team are when you go to work every day, how committed you are for each other, but more importantly, when you play on a Saturday as a group, that is what really matters. That's everything. You only win games of football if you're tight as a team and you're willing to basically just about die for each other, and that happened to me for a spell when I was at Hearts. Alan McDonald was the manager, and I went to Hearts in 1984. I was there 10 years, but as a player and a team, the first 2, 3, 4 years that I was there was just incredibly good. So tight, so much of a bond between everybody at the club that it was. I can't go beyond that. That's the tightest and best relationship group that I've had, and that was on the park and off the park. I had.
Surprising given some of the big teams that you played with. Yeah. So, favourite manager you played under?
Favourite manager? A lot of good ones, to be fair. Early on at Airdrie, Bobby Watson was a big support, big help to me. He made me captain of Airdrie when I was 21. Took that responsibility on, and that helped me to kick on and have a really good playing career. But the best manager comes between two. One, Alan McDonald, that I mentioned the time I was at Hearts. He was just a man manager. He was incredible as a person who got the best out of the group. And John Lyle, who I had at West Ham. John, I went to West Ham when I was 25. John was the first person who introduced coaching to me as such. Got me onto the coaching ladder, as soon as the next summer when I come up the road, I did my B licence and I did my A licence, and that was me committed to coaching after I played. Doddy, brilliant in different ways, absolutely different class, but the one who, John Lyle was an experienced manager at West Ham in the top league in England. When I played there, we challenged at the top end of that league, and it was due to him. He was a brilliant tactician and a brilliant coach and man manager.
And who were the big stars on that West Ham side? Was it Trevor Brooke and Alan Devonshire?
Yeah, you got it. I think they were nearly all internationals apart from me. Phil Parkes in goal, Ray Stewart, who everybody in Scotland of an age will know for taking penalties but being a right good player. Frank Lampard Senior, Billy Bonds captain, incredible, led by example. Alvin Martin, Scouser, him and I used to go for the occasional wee beer in London. Really enjoyed that time. Trevor Brooken that you mentioned, Frankie van der Elst, the Belgian lad who played with Belgian internationalist, who I lived beside and travelled with, so him and I became good pals. The Belgian people are very much like Scottish. Alan Devonshire, one of the best players I ever played with. Paul Goddard, who I played up front beside. Tony Coy was just a young player coming through, so that was a hell of a team. Yeah. God knows how I managed to get in it, to be honest.
What a squad that sounds like, by the way. What a squad. Did you always want to be a football player?
It was always there. The environment that I grew up to, I was 25, was kind of part-time football through Scotland. Teams like Morton, Partick Thistle, Airdrie, where I signed, they were all part-time clubs, and I just knew for some reason at school early on, I knew I was going to be a football player. Don't ask me why, because previous to that, family-wise, there wasn't anything back the way. There's a wee bit of legacy going forward, obviously, but it's just a feeling, and it's there. And I was lucky to be supported by my mum and dad and family, and that helps. And being with good coaches, good managers, as we've mentioned already, you don't get there without their support.
Your favourite ground you've played at?
I was trying to think about this. I think I'm going to go with biggest is the best. I think Old Trafford, when I was at West Ham, I played there once. It was an FA Cup time, we lost unfortunately, but it was some place. I think it's fair to say that was 1982. So it's improved quite a bit since then and got bigger. But it was it was brilliant. Played in a lot of really good stadiums. Scotland's underrated with it, because Hampden's a great stadium, Celtic Park's great, Ibrox is brilliant. Hearts and Hibs are good stadiums, so there's plenty about, and I've been fortunate playing them all, but we'll go with Old Trafford for that one.
Who is the best player you have played with?
Easy, Davy Cooper, Rangers. I'm asked that question a lot, and I've never seen anybody as skillful in all my career. He was a great guy. Worked with him at Rangers and used to travel with him as well at times, and I think the best example I can give is when they took it off in training. He just, when they passed the ball in, he just kept dribbling and keeping the ball on his left foot, and nobody could get it off him. But he was incredibly skillful, and just so sad that he died so early in his life.
You probably answered the next question, that's because it was the most skillful player. So we'll move on. Best fans.
Best fans.
Who you've had a relationship with.
Best fans. Again, it's football, and it's the same everywhere. When things are going well, the fans are absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
You're the best things to slice bread, everybody. When things aren't going well, you get absolutely dog's abuse, and that goes for being a player, a coach, a manager, and it's the same everywhere. So, playing at Ibrox with the Rangers, when it was maybe an Old Firm game and you're winning a game, that to me is a feeling that you'll never get anywhere else. That's for sure.
Correct. Any ambitions left?
Aye, for you to buy me the pint, you owe me.
Some ambitions are achievable.
Webby will maybe buy me a pint. The ambition is to continue to do well. You know, I love what I'm doing at Albion Rovers. We're not the biggest club in the world, but I really enjoy the people that I work with here. So the ambition is to keep the ambition, keep the enthusiasm and the hunger, and as long as I can. I'll know when it's time not to do it, that's for sure. But we're not quite reached that yet.
What team do you support away from Albion Rovers?
I was born and bred and brought up an Airdrie fan.
Right.
You know, and the daft thing, if anybody who's listening to this, if you come from the west of Scotland, wherever you were born, whether it was Airdrie or Falkirk or Motherwell or Hamilton, you would maybe support your local team, and Airdrie was my local team, and then you picked Rangers or Celtic. So I had Airdrie first, but Rangers were always there as well, and that's just, I think there's loads of people in this part of the world that will appreciate that.
So that answers the next question. Do you have a second team?
It's daft. When I looked at the questions you were going to ask me, the daft thing is that, you know, I was an Airdrie fan. Loved going to, as a young boy, going and getting a lift over the turnstiles at the old Broomfield a long time ago. But when you work at so many different clubs, off the top of my head, I don't know how many clubs I've worked at. It's maybe, I'm guessing, between playing and coaching and managing, maybe 20. I'm guessing. It might be slightly less or slightly more. But you get an affiliation with them all when you're there. And you've got a care, as I say. I keep saying about the teamwork and the togetherness and the group you're working with every day. So you end up having a like for them all.
Yeah.
And I think the best way to describe it is, you know, I've got 2 sons and a daughter, and I don't think they've got a team they could say growing up they supported, because I moved that much to different clubs that they were always with me supporting that team. So it's incredible how that can happen.
Okay, club you dislike the most? That could be, for me the answer would be everybody. Every time I played against them, I hate them.
It's hard to, dislike's not a good word. I don't dislike anybody or any team, to be fair. The most joy, you come to Derby games, and the most joy I've had is, and if you want to call it dislike, it's just at the time, as you say, you maybe do dislike them on that day, but when I was at Airdrie, it was beating Motherwell.
Yeah.
When I was at Rangers, it was beating Celtic. When I was at Hearts, I absolutely loved beating Hibs. And you know, that dislike's not the right word, but it was great to win that kind of game when you've got the commitment that I spoke about at Hearts.
Beat your rivals. Would you play Harry Maguire in your team?
100%. 100%.
Even if you're playing a Premier League side in England?
You don't play at that level, and you know, I think he would have played at the Euros if he'd been fit for England, and England got to the final, so they're a hell of a good team, and he'd have been in that team. So he can come and play with Albion Rovers if he fancies it, that's for sure.
25 a week.
Pounds.
This is just a one-word answer. Dead easy this question. Messi or Ronaldo?
100% Ronaldo.
Like that. Second favourite sport after football?
Don't play golf, hate swimming. Liked at school playing volleyball and badminton, bit of tennis, but nothing like, you know,
football.
Nah, there's only one thing really.
Most famous person in your phone book?
Apart from you?
Apart from
most famous person currently in my phone book. I need to think this through. Who have I spoke to recently? Cloystey maybe?
That's surprised you should answer, to be fair.
Don't tell him I said that though. But he's, you know, back to the Euros, it was absolutely brilliant, his TV commentary, but he's just so sharp, and I know him, he's been a pal for a long time, and he's, I can understand where he gets it from.
And final question, you'll be happy to know, and it's not actually on the list here actually, but I've got to ask it. Who's the best goalkeeping coach you've ever worked with?
Well, it's got to be Alan Fraser. There's absolutely no doubt about that.
That's the only answer there is, actually. That's fine. That's guys. So, Gaffer, thanks very much for that. Absolutely brilliant. Webby Sports Roundup. It'll be on next week sometime. Absolutely, I take it he's all log in and check in. It's absolutely first class, great entertainment. They do a wee show on a Saturday morning. It's just 4 guys talking football, and they're absolutely first class. Absolutely brilliant. So thanks very much, Gaffer.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
Tell Webby owes me a beer.
I'll buy you a beer. Can we get a wee photo team? Would that be alright?
Well, there you are. Did you get it? Sandy Clark, a legend in its own right, a great Scottish footballer, and loved playing down at West Ham, up to Rangers, to the Jambos. He had 1 or 2 other clubs that he managed. I think Partick Thistle was in there, and just loved his football. And now he's retired and enjoying himself. So I wish I had his career, just superb. So Sandy, many thanks. Good luck to Albion Rovers, obviously in your division this year. See if you can get promoted. And a big shout out again to Alan Fraser. So all I'm going to say is, if you like what you see and you like what you hear, subscribe to Webby Sports Roundup in sunny Tenerife and send the comments all down below. More the better. Ronaldo, Messi, who do you think? Who's the next one? I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Have a great weekend, everybody.